Hello and welcome to Tools to Create a Better Life with myself, Glenyce Hughes. Thank you so much for being here. I am so incredibly grateful for each and every one of you. And depending when you're listening to this, happy 2022. Yes, we just celebrated the new year and already into the magic of 2022. How the heck does it get any better? So this week's show, some magic from the advanced How to Become Money Workbook. So if you are watching the video of this, I just held up the book. If you're listening, you don't know that, but there is a workbook from Gary Douglas with Access Consciousness called the Advanced How to Become Money Workbook. And I go through it in a group format about once or twice or sometimes 3 times a year. And we have another one coming up starting on January 14th. So we do a chapter a day for 9 days. Yes, we are that insane and it's freaking magical. So in the show, I wanted to share something. So I'm just going to read a little bit here. And Gary says, you start down a direction, and if it doesn't turn out the way you think it should, you go into the judgment of it, which then destroys the future you created. So how does that relate to our life and our living? Well, let's say you take a class to become a painter. Let's say you're taking a painting class and you take that class assuming and deciding and concluding that by taking that painting class, you'll become a better painter and then you'll sell your paintings to make money. But let's say you take that painting class and you don't really love it that much, and you don't become a better painter, then what you do is you judge that you didn't become a better painter, so basically that didn't work. But then you kill the future you created, because maybe the draw, maybe the pull for that painting class was somebody in the painting class you were going to meet and co-create, I don't know, a coffee business together or something. And in your decision and conclusion that it didn't work out, you didn't become a better painter and now you can't make money painting, you've killed what was actually being created. Right? So everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate at all times a godzillion? Right, wrong, good, bad, all 9, PUD, PUC, shorts, boys, and beyond. So that is the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. You can go to theclearingstatement.com for more about how it works, but basically it's like a magic wand. So as I was talking about that, you might have had some of your own experiences come to mind, or places where you've killed your creations or your futures based on your decision it wasn't the way it was supposed to be. And all that energy comes up, and then we run the clearing statement and it starts to clear it so that you have more space, so you can actually start choosing to create more and more and more. So I'll give you an example from my own life, and this was back in 2013. So I started my radio show with an online radio host, I'm not sure what you call them, called Voice America. Some of you I know have been listening that long, and I'm so grateful. So back in 2013, I got just a random email from this amazing gal, Karen, and she said, hey, I was looking on your site and I think you would do really well with a radio show. And at the time, I mean, I knew nothing about anything to do with a radio show or talking to a camera for a long time or whatever. So I was really, really confused with it all. And I was like, no way, I'm not doing it. But anyway, luckily I was using these magical tools and I was willing to ask a question. And I just asked, so truth, what would my life be like in 5 years if I chose to say yes to the radio show? And if I didn't choose, and if I chose to say yes was so much yummier and more expansive, and not choosing was, ugh. So I chose it. Now, when I chose it, at the same time, I was actually creating a space, like a business space in a town called Lloydminster. You might have heard it on some of my previous shows. It was called the Center of Possibilities. And so we were in the creation phase of that, getting some renovations and such done. So my conclusion was that if I say yes to this radio show, since it was so light and so yummy and so expansive, it must mean that by me choosing it, what would actually occur is my in-person classes at the Center of Possibilities would expand. That was the kind of the A plus B equals C. Now, luckily, again, I was using these tools and I was clearing points of views and all the things, because if I wasn't, then after 3 months, so I started with a 3-month contract with Voice America. And so it was like within, 2.5 months, we were already looking at, do we extend it or do we end it? If I hadn't been clearing my points of views and such, I would have actually not extended it, because it didn't create what I had decided it should. My in-person classes did not grow at all. But guess what did occur? Within a few months, I was traveling the world with the classes. So I could have killed that future by going, well, that didn't work, that was stupid, and not signing up for the next contract and walked away feeling frustrated and all the things. Instead of, again, just going to the question of, okay, so if I choose to extend my contract, will create the future I desire, decay the future I desire, I got create, but I looked at what the hesitation was. And it was like, okay, well, somewhere along the way, I decided that having this radio show was basically the answer to growing my in-person classes. And honestly, I could not have considered that they would have, that my radio show would have created a global business for me. There's no way. That was not even in my world as a possibility. But look what was able to be created when I didn't stop that creation, when I didn't basically judge it out of existence, when it was like, okay, well, this didn't show up the way that I thought it would. What else is possible? And so one of the clearings that I use all the time, is all the DJCCs, pissers and RJs that I have about this, I destroy and uncreate them all. So D, decisions, J, judgments, C, conclusions, other C, computations, P, projections, R, rejections, E, expectations, S, separations, and RJs is refined judgments. So those are just all the words of all that energy when I go, oh, if I say yes to this, then this will occur. Those are all DJCCs, pissers, and RJs. Yeah. So whatever you have going on in your life, whatever it is, if it's not the way you would like it to be, and even if it is actually, no matter what's going on, all of the DJCCs, pissers, and RJs I have about this, I destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, all 9, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And what that will start doing is unlocking those places so that you're no longer killing the futures that are possible, and the futures that are beyond what you never imagined possible. So this to me is such a huge piece, because prior to me studying the tools from Access Consciousness, I've always been a magical creator, but prior to Access, I was creating exactly what I was asking for. So I would make vision boards and I would get very specific about all the things. And then I would create it or actualize it. But there was always this thud, like, okay, yay, I guess. Like, I mean, it sounds really ungrateful, but there wasn't a really expansive, yummy, delicious energy on it. The things would show up, the experiences, whatever I was asking for would show up, but it was like, okay, this is it. And then I would judge myself so harshly because how dare I? I asked, I received, I should be grateful, like all the crazy. And then once I started studying Access, then I started asking and getting out of the DJCCs, pissers, and RJs more and more. And I started asking beyond what I never imagined possible. So having a global business, if you would have talked to me when I was, signing the papers for my radio show back in July of 2013, and you would have said, oh, I bet this will increase or not increase, change your business to a global business, I'd have laughed at you. I really would have. That was so beyond what I was willing to even consider. So how much is available to us that's so beyond what we're even willing to consider, that if we didn't kill those creations with the judgment, what else might be possible? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD POC, shorts, boys, beyond. So I want to read another piece here in the same section. And Gary says, this touches all the places where you thought you had to create something to do something, and you start going, oh my God, what did I do wrong? So again, using my example, if I could have looked at that and went, oh my God, my in-person classes have not grown. What did I do wrong? Then he says, what you did wrong was you decided that you did something wrong, and the future ended at that moment. Everything that is, we just start uncreated all times a godzillion. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. We spend more of our lives ending our futures than creating the possibilities of them. We spend more of our lives we spend more of our lives ending our futures than creating the possibilities of them. Yeah. And I'm so grateful when I look back at that. Now, it's not like back in 2013, I went, oh, I'm killing this future, I must create the possibility. It's not that. I can look back now, all of these years later, and I can kind of see the different pieces and all of that. And now, with all the more awareness that I have, with the more information that I have, I can be really aware of when I'm using the DJCCs, the pissers, the RJs to kill the future. Instead of going, wow, okay, so a tool from Access, when you feel like you're creating something that isn't going the way you would like it to, couple of questions. One, what is right about this I'm not getting? Yeah, like what is right about this I'm not getting? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. What is right about this I'm not getting? Now, we're not looking for an answer. We don't need to sit down with a pen and paper and figure out all the things that are right. We just ask that. And what it will do is get us out of the wrongness, out of the judgment, out of the harshness, and back into that energy of creation. The other question that you can ask, depending on the situation, is truth. Is this the change I've been asking for? Right? I know. Now, a lot of times we don't want to ask that question because we don't want to believe that we chose this. This is based on our choice. This is based on what we were asking for. And the level of freedom and space, if you're willing to ask that, is magical. Truth, is this the change I've been asking for? Because once again, same like what's right about this I'm not getting, it gets you out of the judgment. It's like, okay, you know what? This is the change I've been asking for. What would it take to have more ease with this? What might be possible with this that I've never even considered? Just to shift it around, just to start lightening it up so that you're no longer killing those futures and you're creating the possibilities beyond what you never imagined possible. Yeah. Now, if you're brand new here, this is the advanced How to Become Money Workbook. There is actually the basic or the first How to Become Money Workbook. You'll want to start with this one, my sweet friends. And I'm just at the time that you might watch this, depending on when you watch it, if you watch it when it airs, when it first comes out, or listen to it, then the How to Become Money Workbook, we're just finishing up the 13 days. So I usually do them like this, 13 days, a chapter a day, and then I follow it up with the Advanced How to Become Money Workbook. They're all available in my store for purchase, or you can just get on my email list and get notified of the next time that we're going to run these, because there's so much awareness. Every time I go through these workbooks, there's so much awareness. So all of the futures that you have been killing that would create beyond what you never imagined possible, will you destroy and uncreate all of that times a godzillion? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD POC, shorts, boys and beyonds. And if you want to go even farther with these magical tools, I have online foundation coming up in February 19th to the 23rd. So you can join us via Zoom. We do 4 hours a day just to keep it super easy for us over 5 days. So that's out there. And then of course, we've got the Pool Party Foundation. This is a foundation class that I have here at 𝘗𝘰𝘰𝘯𝘵𝑒𝑟𝑒. And we have a big, beautiful pool here. So it's a pool party foundation, and we will have bars right before. So those dates will be set. Maybe even by the time you see this, those will be set. So lots of choices, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so incredibly grateful for each and every one of you. And I wonder what is possible for each one of us in 2022 and beyond what we've never even imagined. Have a great week, sweet friends. I look forward to chatting again next week.